It is another very beautiful day, and welcome to another edition of Insightful Moments. My name is Jare Tiamiyu. Some civil society organizations stage a protest in Osogbo, the state capital of Osun State, calling for the deployment of the Commissioner of Police, CP Ibrahim Gotan. You will recall that earlier in the week, on Saturday or Friday, on Friday rather, the members of the lawmakers elected on their court party also called on the Inspector General of Police to also redeploy the Commissioner of Police in the state. And you could also remember that earlier last week, the governor of the state, Governor Adeleke, also held a media chat where he said the Commissioner of Police was not cooperating and he also wanted him redeployed. And this call is now becoming incessant from a group of people. But we want to ask this specifically today, and I have today I will be digging into what exactly was the matter, and why were these people, and why are these people rather calling for the deployment of a commissioner of police in the state. Remember, this is becoming a pattern whenever we have election in Osun. We are having issue with the commissioner of police from one group or the other. I could remember in 2022, it was CP Ibrahim Gotan that was having issues with some members of a group loyal to former governor who were also in the APC then. So we ask ourselves, what exactly is it? Is it that it is becoming a political pattern in the state, or there are still genuine arguments around this matter? My guest today is Comrade Emmanuel Olowu. Comrade Emmanuel Olowu is one of the leaders of the civil society organizations that held a protest earlier on Friday. Comrade Olowu, thank you so much for joining us.
To be in the studio with you today.
Comrade Olowu, let me ask you, is it that you are trying to parrot the position of the Accord members, starting from the governor and also the members of the National and State Assemblies elected on the platform of Accord? They have said this, that they want the CP redeployed. And when we saw you and your colleagues on the streets, some people are saying, fine, it means you are working for this sort of people. Are you working for the Accord? And why are you trying to, be the kind of a proposala, if I can use that word, for what the Accord people are actually saying?
You see, it is very, very important that we make a very, very good clarification so that the general public will not be misinformed or felt that the people of Osun that came out in mass today to protest against the Commissioner of Police are doing it on a political ground or for a political reasons. The question we should ask ourselves this evening is that what has been happening in the state since the past 2 months, does it require that the Commissioner of Police will redeploy or it did not require it? So when we understand this fact, we are not going to begin to attribute it to someone being a member of a political party or working for a political party. And as a matter of fact, if the House of Assembly, specifically the House of Assembly in Osun, the Speaker specifically, make a demand for such, asking for the redeployment of the Commissioner of Police, Ibrahim Gotan, last week, so also a senator in the National House of Assembly also pushed it, Senator Jare. So the fact of the matter is, it is not basically because the Commissioner of Police is pushing and the politicians are pushing it. So also now that we have now come out in mass and have a protest against what happened, also means that the politician is the one who or which we are working for. One area that I want us to look at, last week on the 9th specifically, when they begin to shoot gun in Osogbo, the question we should ask ourselves is that, is it only the politicians that were affected with the shooting? Those that the bullets did not touch, something might have happened within their body system, the shock itself. And it is important that we make ourselves understand that democracy and election is not war. And the way politicians are taking the trend as we speak, they are taking it or making it to look as if we are going to the battlefront. And that is one of the reasons why the network of civil society groups in Osun had to come together to stage today's protest. And it is important that we state it, that we are going to continually stage this protest till when what we are making demand for is being actualized. Ibrahim Gotan, the commissioner of police of Osun, have to leave because he has failed in his duty and his responsibility.
Let me bolt you from that. This matter is becoming political. You know, the people that you mentioned are actually saying those things. People are saying that it's on the altar of politics and not actually about the the security situation in the state. You mentioned that there were shootings and then political issues. You know that matter, it was very condemnable. But some people are saying that it has to do with politics. That why are you not talking to politicians to play by the rules and not continually disrupting the peaceful atmosphere of the
Now,
state instead of you to target the commissioner.
let me quickly state this. Every woman, by virtues of human nature, we are born and we are created to be selfish individuals. But what makes a man to become lawful is when there are institutions to prosecute and to punish every individual for any crime committed. So the role of the police is to investigate, arrest, and prosecute. And that is a measure at which anybody whoever is committing a particular crime will withdraw from such crime. But in a situation whereby, by the virtue of human nature, a man tends to commit a crime and the institutions that is there to punish and to sanction is not doing its work as appropriate, what do you expect? Look, even since when we got independence in Nigeria, elections has always been like this. In 1964, that was when we had the Operation Wete. It started like this. So every individual will want to take the laws into their hands, but it is the duty of the police, of the security agencies, to apprehend and prosecute. But when we are now seeing a sign that the commissioner of police is not doing as expected, we felt it is important, because we have just 60 days to the election. If we are not calling out the commissioner and calling for the redeployment of the commissioner of police, there will be voters apathy. And what we as civil society organizations are looking at is that anything that is going to lead to voters apathy in the forthcoming election must not happen.
Okay, let me ask you this. When you said that members, it is the duty of the police to ensure that there is peace and order in the land. That's something that everybody wants. We want a peaceful state, and then whoever that has offended the system must be punished, and that is also right. Some people are now asking why after during their protest, some people, after the statement by Senator Leo, and some people are saying that, look, even inside the government house, there are some individuals that are there. Some are saying that they are using the governor as a sheet or a cover to evade arrest. So, are you aware of some individuals that they said that they have been declared wanted, but they are living on the corridors?
That is part of the. I have not heard of that, but let me quickly state this. That is part of the incapacitation of the commissioner of police. The governor himself has humility, so you cannot arrest a governor when he is still a serving governor. However, any other, I'm coming.
I said some individuals are using the governor as a cover.
However, any person who is working with the governor, if such people commit a crime, they have to be arrested. And that is why I am saying that the commissioner of police has not done well by not ensuring that everybody that they have suspected to have committed a crime either works with the governor, works directly with him, or is a political office holder. They should have been arrested. You see, we cannot continue to make people feel that they can act with impunity and we expect that we have a better society. We are where we are today because our institutions are not working.
But are you calling on people that are shielding them? You know, they say that it's not easy to just invade the government house and be arresting individuals.
The fact is
what about, balancing it from that perspective?
The fact is that you cannot say it is not easy when we have modalities and way things are to be done by the law. If some set of people are being shielded by the governor, then the commissioner of police should know too well what is expected of him to do. Every such element ought to have been declared wanted. Their passport ought to have been pasted on the website of the Nigerian police. There should have been a communication between the police and the people of the state. This is a security matter. This set of people are the set of people disturbing the state. So it's an indication that the commissioner of police is not proactive enough, and that is why anybody will assume that because of the fact that some set of people are shielding themselves with the governor, such people cannot be arrested. Who told you they cannot be arrested? They can be arrested, but the commissioner of police is not having the capacity to act and to ensure that such people are arrested. It is not the governor we are talking about. We are talking about allies, people who people claim are working directly with the governor, and they are just mere citizens like you and I, so they can be arrested if the commissioner of police wants to do so.
Okay, let me say this. The governor made a statement that some people are already misinterpreting. I would like to have your interpretation of what the governor said. He said the CP is not cooperating with me. What exactly did you deduce from that statement?
The fact is that I had the interview also, and I heard where the governor said the CP is not cooperating. Let us quickly state it clearly.
What did you deduce?
Let us quickly state it. By law, it is said that the governor of a state is the chief security officer of a state. But I want to quickly take you through the memory line. Do you remember there was a time where there was a crisis in Lagos State, and there was a police officer that was having a issue with the then governor Sanwo-Olu? No, still the governor. Having issues with Sanwo-Olu.
It's still the governor.
Yes, having issues with Sanwo-Olu. I want to make you understand that when Sanwo-Olu was giving the order, the officer was telling Sanwo-Olu that, see, you are not the one who sent me here. I have to call my boss. So when the governor of Osun now is stating that the CP is not cooperating, he knows what he says. That the governor might be referred to be the chief executive officer of the state. But the power of the chief executive officer cannot still be exercised without the cooperation of the sitting of all security heads. Talking about the DSS, the Nigerian police, the NSCDC, the immigration, and what I was. So when the governor is saying he's not cooperating, he might be looking at it from the point that maybe they have not always been on the same table in resolving some issues. So I'm putting that as a side-by-side argument with what happened in Lagos between the governor Sanwo-Olu and a police officer and a police officer. So when the governor is talking about cooperation, I think what it interprets and what it means is that maybe they have not always been having the ability to both sit down to discuss on issues before things are being done.
Okay, Comr Olowu, we've got a very short break. When we are back, we'll be discussing something very different. I'll place some issues before you, and then we'll start analyzing them because it is becoming a pattern in Osun State.
Okay.
Stay tuned, brother.
One of the greatest responsibilities of government is to protect life and property. And as the IGP of Nigerian police, is number one person that should be seen to be protecting life and property of the people. And if all his CPs are doing something wrong, I think it is proper and normal for us to report them with sufficient evidences of what is happening in Osun State. Because if this thing continue like this, you are killing this one today, killing this one tomorrow. We should not wait until counter actions are taken. A lot of people have died before they swing to action. So we are still.
Yeah, I come back from that very short break. My guest is still here, and my guest is Comr Emmanuel Olowu, the leader of the civil society coalition that held protest in Osogbo on Monday. Comr Olowu, thank you so much for joining us. Comr Olowu, now it is looking like a pattern in Osun State. I know that you have been in the state for a while, and you understand when I say it's becoming a pattern. In 2022, there were a lot of agitation against former CP Wale by a group of politicians calling for his removal because, according to them, he was already an interested or a biased individual against them. Now we have it this time around. You remember that even prior to 2018 election, there were issues around the NCP, and people are now seeing that whenever election comes, politicians that are losing out, also politicians that are not, that are not ready to play by the book, always clamor for the removal of the commissioner of police. You think that is exactly what is playing out now?
You see, let me take us through something. Osun State is not just a state as people looked at it from Lagos, from other developed states. Osun is a state of the intellect, of a state where people are ideologically inclined, and in a society where people are of good ideological capacity. Things of this nature will always happen because everybody will be so wise to read meaning to actions of people. Let us put it at that. So the history just narrated, yes, that was how it was, but we have always been here because our institutions has not been working. If, for example, the commissioner of police has been proactive enough, we wouldn't have been at this level. And that is what had happened in the past.
Well, what about the politicians?
Now I'm coming.
What about the politicians?
Now, let us talk about institution now. What I want to talk about institution is this. When they start destroying billboards in the state, did they really make any arrests? Are people prosecuted? You said something. You said that some set of people claim that the governor is shielding some set of people. Has the commissioner of police been able to get them arrested? Those who came to shoot last week, have they been arrested and prosecuted? Now, when you see every of these indices, there is no right-thinking politician, right-thinking party that wants to win election that will not be troubled. So, what I want to say about how I want to answer this question is that every institutions in Nigeria must begin to work in tandem with what the law says. When we are working in line with the law, so that whenever people are asking questions like this, you will be able to narrate your part that you have taken these steps in line with what the law has stated. So, what we see happening in Osun over time, what we see happening in Osun over time is as a result of our ideological tendency in Osun. We are so wise, we are of great intellectual capacity, and as a result of that grace that we have, we will always read meaning to situations and circumstances surrounding us. And what we always make us come back to normal is for us to ensure that our society is properly run, our institutions are working properly. When institutions are working and when people are being treated in line with what the law says, things like this will not be repeating itself.
But some people are saying that you also need to talk to politicians too, who are not playing by the rule. Despite all the clamors for the removal of the then CP, the election went, at least we did not record that violence as it was being projected that time. But that is politicians for you. Let me go back to something that actually concerns you and your group.
Okay.
Some people are saying that you are just a group of individuals recruited for this kind of purpose. Let me give what exactly they are saying. And what they are saying is that a number of the organizations that we have in that coalition are not registered. And he also came out and said the students are also part of the movement today. That's okay. When you call yourself civil society, a number of them are not registered. Are you people registered? I mean, the organizations that are the components of this coalition, are they all registered?
When I hear these kind of questions, I always feel amazed. Even during the military era,
it's not in here.
I'm coming. Let us quickly clarify it so that the public will not be misinformed. Even during the military era, the Committee for the Defense of Human Rights was not a registered organization. The Committee for the Defense of Human Rights, whom I was a former chairman of the organization at the state level here in Osun, was not registered. It was registered like 6 years ago. And Committee for the Defense of Human Rights has been in existence for over 30 years. So what are we talking about? We are talking about the message that is being preached. The message that is being preached. The organizations that organize this protest today is named the network of civil society groups. And my organization is a part of it. My organization is social, economic, and civic rights advocacy. It's a registered organization.
Are you registered with the CAC or with the state government?
I'm registered with the CAC. It's a registered organization. But that is not where we are heading to today. What we are talking about is what the organization is saying. Is it right or not right? The message is what we should concentrate upon. If the message is correct, we are justified. And it is good that I made a good clarification. A lot of people have been posting on Facebook that the Osun Civil Society Coalition organized this protest. No, it is not the Osun Civil Society Coalition that organized this protest. It is the network of civil society.
I think coalition are saying they are not part of this. The coalition are saying they are not part of this.
Osun Civil Society
Coalition. I mean, the coalition led by Alhaji Comr Olowu Emmanuel
is not a part of this, right? Is not a part of today's protest. The set of people that are the organizations that did this protest today did it under the banner of network of civil society groups in Osun that came together to evaluate it and look at the situation. Are we still going to let people or politicians come into the state and begin to shoot guns? No. Look, the implication of the gun that is being shot is that everybody is not looking at, is that there will be voters apathy. And when you go and make your research, you are going to discover that a lot of people, as we speak, are afraid of going out to cast their vote on election day. Everybody has felt that there will be crisis on that day. So the fact that people are arguing that organizations are not registered, that is not the point. The point is the message that is being preached is what people should look at.
So your organization is registered. What about other organizations? I just want us to establish that. What about other organizations? Are they all registered?
When I am making presentation like this, I speak for myself. I am sure.
But you are the leader of the group, right? Yes. Then you should know the people that you have brought together.
Yes.
That's exactly why I'm putting it to you. You are the one that brought the people together.
Yes, that is why I'm answering these questions from 2 points of view. Number one, it is not a must that organization should be registered before the organized protest or make their position known as citizens of this country. That is one. Number two,
let's now go
number two, I can beat my chest to tell you that my own organization that I'm representing for, that I went out to participate in that protest on their behalf, is a registered organization.
Okay, let me now go back to the security matter, and this may be my final question on this. Some people are saying that, I have spoken with some security officials in the last few weeks and then in the last few days, especially on the main security matter. I mean, Yoruba will say, "Ikú tó ń pojú gba ẹni òwe ló ń pa fún ni," considering what happened in our neighboring states. It has been happening in Kwara, it has happened in Oyo, it has happened in Ekiti and different. And these are the neighboring states that we have. So now I would like to ask you. Uh, Last week there was a kidnapping case in Orai Gomino. You are not talking about that. And also, some people are saying that the security officers are saying that some of them are not happy with the government. And I'm saying this because I know that you should speak for the two sides, both the security officials and also the citizens, and also table this to the government. Some people are saying that the security officers are not happy with the government because the APC, I mean the armor personnel carriers that were, on the road before, were withdrawn by the government for months now. They've said they are undergoing refurbishment. Last 2 weeks, when the panic in what do you call it, in the La Ikirun axis came, and the government issued a statement saying that those APC were ready for deployment. But till now, they have not been deployed. And they are saying that these are some of the tools that they needed, that they have not been having support from the government either. Do you see that happening? And then what will be your reaction to that?
Now, let me quickly react. You narrated and you said that 2 weeks ago some people were kidnapped. It is not 2 weeks ago. They have been kidnapping.
No, I said last week.
Last week, you said last week. They have
been kidnapping in Orai Gomino for some times. I understand
in
that.
Orai Gomino for about 2-3 months ago.
Not even more. It's even more than that. Last year there was kidnapping.
Yes,
this year there were two.
Kidnapping has been going on in that axis because Orai Gomino shares boundary with Kwara State.
Yes.
Our own duty as civil society person is to speak to appropriate quarters and to let them know what is expected of them. I've always been telling people, Adeleke, to me, Adeleke's administration scored 3/10 because he had failed to ensure that all areas of human needs are being met in his governance system.
You mean the government? You rate the government?
If I'm to rate, yes. If I'm to rate Adeleke's administration, I'm going to rate it 3/10.
You rate it 30%.
Yes, I will rate it 3/10 because of the fact that the few he could do, he was able to only touch 3 areas and 2 sectors and 1 area in his administration. Security wasn't part of it. Education wasn't part of it, but that is not the discussion for today. But what I am trying to make us understand, that in the area of security, Adeleke's administration did not do well. And it is also the duty of the commissioner, and that is why I'll be talking about capacity. It is also the duty of the commissioner, if the commissioner of police, if it is for the sake of peace and protection in Osun State, he should have been able, with other security agents, to meet with the governor, to discuss with him and to let him understand the implication of not investing in security in the state. So to me, if the commissioner of police has been in Osun for close to a year now, specifically, it's not up to, I don't think it's up to a year. If he has been in Osun and you have seen every of these challenges that we are talking about, or you are stating now, and you could not find a way, calling the director of the DSS, calling the what do they call the NSCDC, if you have not looked at how to bring every other security outfit together, to make them meet with the governor, to persuade to him and make him citizen why every of these equipment have to be in place. Then the commissioner of police has not done well. Because see,
What of if he has
he is
done
a
that? Because they hold security council meeting virtually every month.
so if he has said it, we don't know, because I am not privy to that meeting. I will not be able to say much in that direction. But to me, on security, Adeleke's administration has not done perfectly good on security. And that is a fact that I can say and attest to anytime.
Okay. Thank you so much, Comrade Olowu Emmanuel. Finally,
welcome.
before I let you go today, you said your demand is just one, that the CP should be redeployed. And
Yes.
I would like to ask you,
Okay.
have you noticed any political bias in the operation of the state police command? I mean, I want you to speak with facts now.
You see, the political biasness that I have cited is, if some set of people are shot guns and the intelligence officers in the commission in the command is unable to get them arrested by now, if we have had instances where people who are destroying billboards are not being arrested, is a sign of weakness and a sign of being biased. Every person who had commit a crime as related to this election. Look, election is the day of revolution for the Nigerian people. After election day, there is no revolution again. And the revolution that we are talking about is not a bloody revolution, but a revolution of the tongue. But when we now have situations where people will be afraid to come out and exercise their franchise, it calls for reaction as our organizations and network are reacting to what is happening today. So part of the message we preach to the people today is that never be afraid. Come out and cast your vote. There will not be crisis, there will not be problem on that day, because voting is your right.
Okay. Thank you so much. I would like to ask finally, are you saying that this protest will continue until your demands are met?
This protest, you see, we will always give a space, analyze the development. We have taken the first step today. We are going to wait for a while and analyze the process. If everything resort back to normal, we are going to let be and move on. But if things continue to deteriorate, we will not have any other choice than to continue to go back to the streets to ensure that we have a peace, free and credible election, where every electorate that are willing to vote, that wants to vote, will not be afraid of coming out to vote on election day.
Thank you so much, Comrade Olowu Emmanuel. Comrade Olowu Emmanuel is the leader of the network of civil society organizations in Osun State, and his group led a protest across Osogbo on Monday, calling for the deployment of the Commissioner of Police, CP Ibrahim Gotan. And on that note, I want to say thank you so much, Comrade Olowu, for being part of today's show, and thank you so much, you viewers out there, for being part of the show. My name is Jare Tiamiyu. I will see you some other time. Bye for now.